Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So I am back. Got back yesterday, kind of mid-afternoon after nice long weekend, Thursday through Monday basically, visiting my in-laws down south, Alabama to be more specific. And I'll tell you guys what, I was exhausted. So I got a lot of rest in when we were back there, hung out with family a lot. Ate lots, all that good stuff. So rejuvenated now and ready to get back to work here on awesome V dubs. So without further ado, let me talk about what happened not just today, but yesterday. So today is Tuesday. And so Rafa, of course, was here yesterday, even though I was out. And let's talk about what he did here. We'll go in chronological order here. So as you can see, if you're a regular to the channel, then you see that he went ahead and installed temporarily. It's got to come back out because the gas tank is going in, but just kind of mocking everything up, the spare tire shelf and the spare tire, and made a strap for it with the correct end and the original buckle, which we had zinc plated, and he found a very correct looking material here. So very cool detail right there. And so this whole huge spare tire shelf we had, of course, powder coated, and before that we did body work on it and all that good stuff, metal work, body work. So bitch and detail having that thing in and looking very correct and brand new. And then that belt is just like the icing on top. Speaking of the tank, we found some color that we're happy with, and our paint and body guy went and did paint and body on it. So it is pretty much done and ready to install. So picked out a gray color, which we believe to be very close to the original gray, and the same with the finish, kind of satin. I don't know exactly what it's considered. Satin, semi-gloss maybe. Anyway, there you go. Tank looks amazing. And there's the top of the tank there. Tank's hanging upside down, obviously. But yeah, so that happened. So the other big thing that Rafa did yesterday, other than putting in the spare tire tray, is check this out. Bum bum. So Octavio and team, as usual, knocked it out of the park. They finished the seats. So again, we did a lot of modifications. Actually, Octavio did a lot of modifications on these seat frames to a few things. One is make them right-hand drive. So since the cargo doors are on the left side of the bus, when you have a long middle seat, it's now the left side that flops down to give access to the back seat. Normally, this part that flops down will be on the other side, as with the cargo doors. So basically made this seat into a mirror image of itself. And then it's got the 6 legs on it, which is correct. And the legs are all in the right place. The 2 there that are a pair ago where the seat kind of split. So the seat's kind of like a 1/3, 2/3 deal. So so that pair of legs goes right there. I don't know why V-Dub thought that needed to be so beefy right there with 2 legs, but whatever. They did some kind of weird stuff sometimes. But anyway, yeah, so there you go. Legs are all looking very correct. And then I think I mentioned before, the back seat, the middle leg here is pretty special on Barndoors. Let me get some light going on here. So see how the front corner of that is kind of squared off. So later ones, it's pretty much just like a rounded hoop. On these, it's actually like a squared off corner. So yeah, this leg is very special and very unique to Barndoors. So yeah, all those little details. We don't want some later looking seat leg in there ruining this bitchin' bus. So yeah, lots of effort going into just the legs on the seats to make sure that they are as correct looking as possible. So there you go. But anyway, back to the upholstery. So yeah, those guys did an amazing job here. Seats look killer. We picked out the correct looking black vinyl. The threads that are in here, it's probably hard to tell. They probably just look over white, but they actually have kind of like a gold tint to them. Against the black, they pretty much just look off-white. But yeah, even those little details like picking out the thread that's the right color. So all those kind of things. Again, you guys know if you watch this channel, we love those little details. So there you go. So remember, if you've been following the channel for a while, when this poor bus came in, it had 0 back seats, none. And so it was just basically like a big empty shell back here. And it did have the front seats, but they were completely wrong looking. So we took care of all that. And now, let's see, let's go ahead and close this. Now it's got all the seats and they're all looking amazing and correct and all that good stuff. So there you go, huge deal. Yeah, so seats pretty much went in yesterday as soon as those guys finished them. You can see these guys stitching here, just unbelievable. So again, this is our friend and neighbor Octavio and his guy. These guys are total wizards when it comes to upholstery. Seams are just unbelievable. So yeah, sorry I'm like geeking out over seams, but these are the kind of details that separate a really, really nice build from one that's less nice. Things like wrinkles and, you know, ugly seams and stuff like that. Nah, we don't have any patience for stuff like that around here. So yeah, there you go. Huge deal that those went in yesterday. So the front panels, I just emailed back and forth with Clara. Those of you in the VW bus world will know who Clara is. She's the queen of inner panels. So she's making us right-hand drive combi bus panels right now. I think they're supposed to ship maybe later this week. So yeah, those will go in probably next week. So as far as what Rafa did yesterday, the other big thing, which I think he has squirreled it away, is he went in, he restored the generator, and I think he's boxed it up somewhere. I don't know where, but you'll see it when the motor starts going together. But yeah, that's another thing he did yesterday. So as far as today is concerned, he got the fuel pump ready to basically rebuild. So we're picking up a rebuild kit for the fuel pump, among other things, in the morning. But he took the fuel pump, cleaned it, sandblasted it. The mating surfaces of them are pretty much always warped. So he spent quite a bit of time basically sanding all those mating surfaces that are supposed to be flat into flat surfaces so they seal and behave properly. Let's see, what else did he do? He got, well, the big thing here, which if you saw the thumbnail, then you know that these went on. So the last pieces of these puzzles, well, the almost last pieces of these puzzles came together today. I got the inner grease seals from Orange County Bearings right up the street from us. He had the exact size we needed. That was the last part that we needed to actually put these on the car. However, now the truly last thing we need to do is we need to make some special bearing grease covers that are a little deeper than the stock ones, because again, those axles are sticking out more than they would on, say, a 356, which is what these are made for. So we have to basically take some grease caps and extend them to where they'll fit over this axle that's protruding more than I would, again, on, say, a Porsche 356B, which is what these are off. But, you know, the good news is that these are on. So that's another part of the puzzle here done, other than, again, those grease caps. So, yeah, quite a bit of time putting these in. They still had the old bearing races in them, which were a pain in the ass, frankly, to get out. Rafa was working on those for quite a while. But then, yeah, went ahead and greased the bearings and put them in, put the grease seals in, all that good stuff. So those are on there for real now. I don't think they're going to need to come off again. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. I think that is pretty much Rafa's day here on those front drums and the fuel pump and a few other odds and ends. Oh, one other very small thing here is the outside mirror went on, or at least the arm for it. So Rafa has been looking for correct looking screws And again, one of those details that we love here. So he found some correct looking screws and finally got this installed. He had to make the little gasket that goes between the hinge and the A pillar here. So that's on. And then I think we're probably going to put a new old stock industrial mirror on here, which would have been correct, of course, because this is a combi. This is an industrial vehicle. So I think we have a mirror for it that's very correct. And I think it's new old stock. So cool. So yeah, that was pretty much Rafa's couple days here. Getting a ton done on this puppy. And yeah, so let's see what I did today. So came in this morning and just had a ton of catching up to do. So part of how I spent the morning, again, not the most exciting thing, is making calls, sending emails, etc., chasing parts around for this guy. Spent probably nearly half my morning just trying to find parts, check on parts that we already ordered, talk to the machine shop, brother's machine, about the motor for this thing. And yeah, so lots of catching up to do because I didn't do any of that pretty much when I was out. So yeah, about half my morning spent chasing parts and following up with folks on this one, including Clara. I mentioned her earlier. And then worked on this one a little bit. So this one had 4 broken hubcap clips. So 2 on this wheel and then 2 on the spare wheel. So drilled out those old clips, the rivets, got those out and then beat in the new ones with rivets and touched up the paint on them. Got them looking good. And then the inner tube that we were missing, the spare tire, at least the tire that I put as a spare, didn't have an inner tube in it. Ordered an inner tube from our friends at Coker Tires. That showed up while I was gone. Took the spare and the inner tube over to our friendly corner tire shop and had them put the tube in it. So that's done. Took it for another test drive. Car's running and driving great. Don't really have any issues with it. Just, you know, putting some more confidence miles on it. Hubcaps are coming tomorrow. Chrome hubcaps. We'll paint the logos black on them, like that. And yeah, that's I think about the last detail. I'm not going to crawl under there, but there is a axis cover that goes kind of in the middle of the front beam up underneath here that covers the essentially like the front of the tunnel of the car, so dust and rodents and stuff don't get in there. So took that, cleaned it, sanded it, painted it, put it on up underneath there just this evening. Got it ready. This one also took for a drive. I did a lot of driving today, customer's car. This one I had out, I think I took this one on 3 or maybe 4 separate drives. The throttle kept sticking like a little bit, like not full throttle or anything. And even if with only 36 horsepower, even if it does stick on full throttle, it's frankly not that terrifying. Anyway, we can't have that. And so we trimmed the carpet around the throttle pedal linkage. It was impinging on some of the throttle pedal linkage a little bit. And then I added a little washer in part of the linkage. Kind of hard to explain, but basically to move everything that way away from the carpet, and then took it on yet another good drive. Everything's perfect now. Throttle's super smooth, always returns just like it should. So yeah, just kind of some last minute details like that, making sure this thing runs and drives perfect. So yeah, I probably put, I don't know, 10, 15 miles on this one today. And yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. I think I'm literally going to prepare the invoice tonight for this one and send it to the owner tonight. And yeah, so this one will be gone in the next day or two probably. And actually, speaking of cars being gone, I wish, this one also, it's literally like that close to done. I think it's pretty much the hubcaps and maybe a few more confidence miles on it now. He's probably going to take it before the end of the week too. So we'll be down these 2 cars. I need to go through my list and figure out what's coming in next because the shop is going to start looking kind of empty here. Although we have 3 cars outside right now in various stages of disassembly and body work and stuff. But cars that are inside the shop, I'm going to need to get some more in here to keep us busy. The only other thing that I did, small thing, probably spent about half an hour on this motor today, which is the motor for the 67 Beetle over there in the corner. Went ahead and added oil back to it. I had drained it and stuff after I did the cam brake in, put oil back in it, and made a wire to connect the coil to the element for the choke. I didn't have that last time I ran it. So my goal is, I think probably tomorrow morning, I'm gonna fire this motor up again and try and get like the idle and everything adjusted and make sure that it's, you know, running, idling perfect. And then assuming that all goes well, then it's ready to go in the car. So that's a pretty big deal. But yeah, loving the engine stand, loving the ability to even like tune a car, at least as far as it's like idle and stuff is concerned. You know, 90% or so on the test stand. And then of course you have to drive it and get a little bit more heat into it to do those like final fine tuning. But yeah, I should be able to get it pretty close on the test stand and know that there's no issues or anything. So I don't have to pull it out of the car again, because I don't want to do that anymore. It sucks. So I believe that would be it for today, guys. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.